Hello everyone and welcome back to another scrap mechanic video. In this video I will be showing you how to actually make your car have piston powered engines. I have made a lot of videos about piston engines in the past, and I have never made a specific tutorial on how to actually put it on a car. So in this video I will actually show you how. So here, this is an example by the way. So we have an inline 4, a very standard one, which is like, you know, a very low profile inline 4. It has a drive shaft, and then it connects to a gear, and then yada yada. So as you guys can see, there is a double bearing clutch here, like 2 bearings. This is actually a clutch, and it's connected from a electric engine, and it is a clutch basically. It doesn't, and let me tell you something, it doesn't actually power those things. It doesn't actually make anything faster. In fact, while you were driving this thing, the electric engine gets disabled. Let me show you something here. So this is actually a very outdated electronic throttle. Once I press W, the piston pushes something here, and then the sensor detects it, and it's connected to a NAND logic gate, which is always active, and it's connected to the electric engine, which is like kind of like powering this thing in order to actually not affect the things here. So basically, when I press W, it actually now syncs with the engine itself, and that's how clutch works. And if I don't hold W, if I lift off the throttle, it will just act like a, you know, a normal neutral car, I guess. So that's the basics of it, and that is the double bearing clutch. So that is pretty much an example. Before we start, we're gonna have to talk about the suspension style that we're going to use. So the most common one that is used in scrap mechanic community is pretty much the solid axle, which here in the rear axles, well, they are solid, they are not independent. Instead, they are pretty much like connected to each other here, and that is pretty much the suspension basics. As you guys can see, it actually moves and it kind of like syncs together. And normally you wouldn't want that for a sports car. You would want this specifically for off-roader cars, something like that. Well, let me show you an example of independent suspension. So I have made an all-wheel drive Porsche 959. It is a rear engine. It has well, only 4 pistons. The designs, the mechanical designs of it are extremely compact, and it has to use independent suspension because a normal U-joint wouldn't fit. So I mean, technically it still has U-joints, but still. So this is the example of independent suspension. As you guys can see, there are roughly two U-joints per axle. So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 total U-joints in one car. Well, yeah, and that's 2 U-joints per wheel. So that's independent suspension for you. I think I can actually increase the height. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's the independent suspension. Oh, and the zeroth block, they are used to make things more compact. Zeroth blocks are actually quite overpowered. I might actually make a video about the zeroth block soon. So stay tuned. And so please subscribe to my channel, and with the notification bell so you won't miss out any video I post. So yeah. Alright, so let's get started. We're gonna find any creations from the workshop. Alright, so I found one, and this one seems to be really good. Shout out to Thomas Brown. I'm sorry if I actually didn't pronounce your name right, but your truck looks pretty okay. So let me I'm going to piston power your truck, buddy. I'm sorry if I don't have any permissions, but for the sake of the video, yeah, this is going to be our truck for today's video. So I assume this one uses inline six, as most trucks we seen are mostly either V8s or inline sixes, or sometimes inline fours, a big inline fours. So we're gonna do some dismantling. Like, this part has to be cut off. This part has to be cut off as well. Maybe the exhaust, because it kind of like blocks a lot of things here. Maybe delete it. And the engine. Oops. Alright, so let's start building our engine. Obviously, we're gonna start off by making the engine itself. So we have a lot of room here in order to fit in a V8. So we are going to be putting a V8 engine in this truck. What I'm doing right now is the least efficient thing you can do, because it will need a collision-based gears, obviously, in order to function properly. And gears have mostly like a limit, like around 700 RPM. So gears do tend to fail, and on top of that, if the engine has a lot of torque, it can actually flip your car over, which is pretty dumb. But at the same time, I guess it's really cool because your engine is very nice. So by the way, if you don't know how to make a powerful V8 engine, there is a tutorial I have shown you guys in my channel. I can link you in the description down below, or just click that thing up there. Yeah, we're going to put these sensor plates. Oh, before we do that, we must put a piston, because controller bearings have a limit of 4,000 Newton meters of torque, and this V engine, what I'm about to make, will have a torque of more than 7,000 Newton meters of torque. So we're gonna make this sort of pass through, which is I guess crazy. And this pass through connects from the crankshaft itself. So people call it torque pass through. It doesn't have U and E. It spells out T-O-R and Q. That's torque pass through. I don't know if I pronounce it right, but that's how it's pronounced. We're gonna make it 2, and then we're gonna make it a 0th block. Don't forget the color. Like this, we put a bearing, and only then we can now move the pistons, and then we put a pipe, just like that, ladies and gentlemen. It's very simple, although you need a blueprint editor. So yeah. I have done it right, but it doesn't have space. There it is. Well, that's the hood gone. Why does this guy put like 2 bearings? That's seriously going to lag up your game. I'm telling you. Alright, so now let's just connect it to the we're just obviously going to connect the sensors to the pistons. There we go. Now it's active. I believe it can now spin anytime he wants. There it is. That's just very, very sweet. Now we're gonna find its den zone. It's negative 60, and its active zone will be at 165. And then so let's put this. Actually, you know what? No, we just have to put an electronic throttling. So screw that for now. And wait, no, it still needs it to switch to activate the engine. Actually, there we go. Let me see if it works. There we go. Oh my god, the torque of the engine causes the truck to like do this stuff here, which is pretty crazy. So we have to increase the suspension stiffness. What has he done with the suspension though? What the hell? I think that's mainly the reason why it's doing this weird body roll and something. Right, so now it's time for the drivetrain parts. Oh, and let's just put a double bearing. It can be found here. I will link I will just link this into the description down below. But if you have a blueprint editor, I will show you how to make one. Very easily and simple. So first of all, you're gonna put this pipe here and then a bearing. Don't forget to color it. And then take it off here. Obviously you don't remove it. And then put another one. Color it black. And before you select this bearing and connect them, like pretty much glitch weld them to each other, you're gonna wanna find a place where your engine is going to be. So I would prefer to put it here. Here exactly. And then let me put this logic gate back because we're gonna use it later. And then we're gonna collect them together. And then only then you can just do this, and that's your double bearing. So, and don't forget to make this thing at maximum. And if it's doing a noise, you can just change the rotation and it will stop. It will now stop spinning like crazy. So that's how you make a double bearing. It will serve as our clutch. We should just make a pass through here, by the way, so we can make the rest of the drivetrain pretty much stable. Like that. And then here, looks like there's going to be some dismantling stuff. We're gonna have to get rid of this, probably this one as well, sadly. So I will actually have to kill the aesthetics of these trucks for this video specifically, which kind of sucks, I guess. I'm gonna delete this. We can just put it back later, I guess. And here we are going to put 2 U-joints. In a car you will see 2 U-joints in the drive shafts, and that is obviously done so the suspension will actually work properly. There we go. And don't forget to balance it, because some people will just directly place 2 bearings at a time, and that is pretty much the most performance losing and the most useless thing you can ever do. So you can just technically do this and still be balanced. Oh, and by the way, pipes don't have mass. That's a fun fact. Wait, no, that's not what I meant. Pipes pretty much have the same balance. Yeah, pipes all have the same balance. So yeah, I believe it's right around here. We don't have to break this, by the way. It's just stay here. I believe the wheels have to be here, so let's put a marker here. and then we have to put another U-joints. And then this is going to be our gear. Oh, wait. This is supposed to be the, what do you call that? It's a 6-way pipe. I forget the balance. There we go. Oh, and in the regional truck, this is supposed to be 1 block more higher. So what we're gonna do is, well, let's firstly make a drive shaft right here, like that, and then I think, wait, which direction the engine can spin, by the way? Let me see. So right, so this way, the engine spins clockwise. So if it spins clockwise, we put it here. We put the gear here, I guess, actually, so it can, you know, move forwards. Oh, and there's no sense making a what do you call that? A reverse gear, because the more gears you put in a car, the more inefficient it gets. So sadly, yeah, I guess it won't happen anytime soon. So yeah, that's pretty sad. Yeah. Right, so let's put a piston here for the pass through, and like that. Alright, so I think we're gonna put the suspension around here. Oh wait, we first have to put a piston, and then a suspension. Actually, I think we made it a little too here. Let's make it here, I guess, and then smooth this. We're gonna need a suspension. A sport suspension should be enough. It should make enough travel. And that seems a little too tall, and we can just technically do this. Well, that's way too much, but like, alright. So this time it's gonna be a little bit different, because we're gonna use a different type of pass-through, and that is the wedge. The thing about wedges, they have bigger collisions, wider collisions, more than a block can do. So you cannot technically put them in here, which is gonna collide with the sensors, and it's gonna cause problems. So yeah, it's best to stick with the normal piston pass-through, just in case. Actually, no, not yet. In here, you're gonna wanna actually connect the suspension here to here, so it can serve its true purpose as a solid axle. Now we're gonna do the same thing for the other side. We put a piston, a pipe, and then a sport suspension. We paint it. Put a pipe like that. Now, time for the logic gate thing. Let's make it NAND, or you could just make it a sensor facing to the wall, which is like much easier, I guess. Alright, so technically there are a lot of ways to make suspension. This is like the most easiest one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Technically this is the easiest, like the most simple suspension. Okay, I forgot one thing. You need to place a freaking bearing here. like this. All right, don't forget about this one detail that would actually ruin your car. All right, so yeah, this is the suspension. It works really nice, and they actually sync really well. And one thing that concerns me is the things underneath here might actually collide, so I can make them zero with block. I'll show you pretty much how. All you have to do is to place these blocks, weld them. Don't forget to pretty much weld them, paint them, and then Z. Since it's actually Z, we're modifying the heights, and now 0, and like that. You shouldn't have any issues now. Just like that. It's pretty simple. That's the solid axle variation. And now it's time to make the electronic throttling. I'm going to show you guys how to make the a little outdated version of it, which includes needing the use of screws like this. Actually, we just put blocks here and then put another screw, and then get a thing here, a controller, what do you call this, a logic gates, connect to here, there, here, and then it's supposed to be fast, one, and then it's loop. I believe we can now go. Let me close the door, and then let's activate the engine. If you press W, I think the oh yeah, right, I made it wrong. So there it is. The engine torque just pretty much do this, which is pretty crazy. But the car is really fast because of that V8 piston engine. Maybe we can just increase the suspension, and it gets this longitudinal effect, which kind of flips the car on the side of you, on each side or whatever side the engine is spinning. And this engine here specifically has more than 7,000 Newton meters of torque, so you will encounter this problem. So you will be asking how to prevent it, and the answer is very simple. Simply make an engine with 2 outputs. So I have an engine here. Yeah, this one has 2 outputs, and you basically put 2 wheels, and this is the direct drive variation, which is so much more efficient than we did on this one. But mostly because, like I said before, it doesn't need gears. The only thing it needs is clutches or electronic throttling. And yeah, this is the engine itself. And by the way, it's the engine here that I've used in here and there, it's pretty much similar. One thing you can notice is the linkage. I basically just I use those pistons in order to rotate the linkage 90 degrees. So yeah, this is the thing. Let me show you how. Let me just complete this tutorial actually. Let's just put a example of suspension here. We put 2 bearings, those, and then some suspensions, and then we have to connect them together. And now this is going to be your car body. And yeah, this is easily the best variation you can do from all of the piston engines you can make. I'm not sure which side it spins. I'm pretty sure it spins on, yeah, it can spin here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, it's just 165. Right, so it's like this. But of course, you'd have to put either some more concrete blocks to the front, since the torque of the engine is pretty strong. It also happens on kind engines as well. Either you use a suspension glitch to counteract torque, which is honestly the best option you can do, because it doesn't need weight, but obviously you would also have more drag, and more drag equals less speed. So yeah, this is pretty much the most simple suspension glitch I can do. Alright. Oh, didn't I mention that you can also use suspension glitch as a engine? Well, I'm gonna make that soon, and do some more experiments with it, because I've never done it before. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next scrap mechanic video. And yeah, let's drive it. Looks pretty cool, by the way.